Hi, uh, coming to you from the greater Pittsburgh area. And those of you that know us folks here around Pittsburgh, I live in New Kensington or Arnold, Pennsylvania, and which is just a suburb of Pittsburgh. We have a football team called the Steelers, and the Steelers have a quarterback named Ben Rothlesberger. How many people have heard of Ben Roethlisberger these last couple weeks? Now, I'm not a big sports fan. I used to be. I used to follow the Steelers and the Pirates when the Pirates used to win once in a while. I used to follow them all the time. Then I got saved, and sports became kind of like a secondary, or not even a secondary thing with me. But it's impossible when you live in Pittsburgh not to follow the Steelers because they blast it at you every time you turn the TV on, especially in football season, especially if they are in the playoffs. That's all you hear. Well, of course, this last month or so, all we've been hearing about is Big Ben and his indiscretion down in Milledgeville, Georgia. Basically, Big Ben Roethlisberger acting like a jerk, which I guess we all have at one time or another, men, haven't we? I can remember when Big Ben first came here, first started playing for the Steelers. He was a backup quarterback, and he had to come in to replace an injured quarterback, and did a pretty good job. And I remember there was a story one time they showed Ben, he had written on his tennis shoes, PFJ, which stood for Play for Jesus. And he was supposedly a Christian, and maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is. Can't tell. Certainly can't tell by the way he acts. But he came here and he was playing for Jesus. Then they won the Super Bowl, and they won another Super Bowl, and I don't know if the money went to his head or the fame went to his head or what's wrong with him. We need to pray for him, that if he isn't truly saved, that he would get saved and start acting saved. But what I want to say is this, there's all this hullabaloo here in Pittsburgh. They're talking about cut Big Ben and trade him away and get rid of him. And then the Rooneys, who own the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's a wonder they haven't done so. I was really surprised that they didn't trade him. But the bottom line is, what's the big deal? We live in a culture that promotes sexual activity, promiscuous sexual activity. When you watch the Super Bowl, the ads are rated on how sexually explicit they can be. 85% of the television programs contain sexually explicit material. Why do we think it's so strange or so horrible that this guy named Ben Roethlisberger, 28-year-old guy that's not married, is out looking for, I'm not going to say it, but you know what he's looking for. The same thing that a lot of other men are out there looking for, except Big Ben has the money and the fame and the prestige and can afford the bodyguards. I'm so thankful that when I got saved, I came out of that lifestyle. It became so shallow, so hollow. But the fact of the matter is, here's a guy that makes $500,000 a game every time he goes out to play. And of course, he has the spring training and the contact and everything. We understand it. And I don't blame him for making $500,000 a game. I blame the American people for being willing to pay it. And then get all upset whenever he goes and does something that we laugh at every night when we watch TV. It's really just American hypocrisy. I wonder how many Christians, or folks that call themselves Christians, get all wrapped up in this sporting events, football and baseball and all these other things, and go right along with everything that goes, the cheerleaders and all that other stuff. And then when they hear about something like this, they say, oh, it's terrible, Big Ben. It's just hypocrisy. We live in a culture that has glorified sexual immorality, that has glorified wealth and fame, and that has eliminated God from any public thought. So we wonder why. A guy like Big Ben goes out and makes a jerk out of himself, embarrasses himself and his team. Well, what's there to be embarrassed about? That's what's promoted. That's what rock and roll music is about. That's what popular culture is about. He's just going along with the program. Well, you can tell. Gets me a little upset. I'm home today. My wife is away for the weekend, so I have lots of time to come on and rant and rave on YouTube and Tangle.com. and she won't think I'm crazy about talking to myself. But listen, folks out there, if you're a believer, forget about this stuff. How much money are you spending on this junk? Get real. Every major civilization, culture, empire, one of the signs that it was deteriorating was the fact that people would spend a lot of money on entertainment, amusement. That's where we've gotten. I can remember I could go to a baseball game and sit in the outfield for $2 and watch a doubleheader. Now, I don't think you could get anywhere near the place for under $10. I don't know. I haven't been to one in years and don't intend to go to one either. It's time we start getting serious about our faith. Hey, Ben, you'll probably never see this, but I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you that you'll get back to playing for Jesus and maybe living for Him too. Hey, God bless you all. Hope you have a nice day.